A surreal scene at the White House. Workers in hazmat suits disinfecting the briefing room. Much of the West Wing empty today as staff stay away from the coronavirus hot zone at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And now the Trump administration's COVID outbreak has reached the Pentagon. Joint Chiefs of Staff forced to quarantine after Admiral Charles Ray, the Vice Commandant of the Coast Guard, tested positive today. It's impossible to say where he was infected, but Admiral Ray attended an event at the White House a week ago Sunday. A Pentagon spokesman says even though the military leadership now must work from home, quote, there is no change to the operational readiness or mission capability of the U.S. Armed Forces. It comes amidst a flurry of new cases at the White House, including one of the president's military aides. That's one of the people who carry the so-called nuclear football, a presidential valet, one of the people who serves his meals, and two more staffers in the press office. And now, senior advisor Stephen Miller, who is also married to the vice president's communications director. All told, at least 24 people who have been at the White House over the past 10 days have tested positive. As for President Trump, he's recuperating in the White House residence after 3 days in the hospital. His doctor released a short statement saying the president, quote, reports no symptoms and continues to do extremely well. The president's carefully choreographed return from the Walter Reed Medical Center was designed to project an image of strength and health, even as his doctors say he is not out of the woods. After he walked up the steps to the South Portico, the president dramatically removed his mask, even though he is still contagious, and there were others, including a White House photographer nearby. Once inside, he made a video to say he feels great. He didn't mention the First Lady or his staffers who have tested positive. He said people shouldn't be afraid of a virus that has already killed more than 210,000 Americans.
Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives. Don't let that happen.
But the president had just spent 3 days in one of the most advanced hospitals in the world, receiving the kind of aggressive treatment available to virtually nobody else, including an antibody treatment that has been given to a total of less than 10 people outside of a clinical trial. His statement enraged some of those who have lost loved ones. Amanda Klutz, the widow of Nick Cordero, who died after 95 days in the hospital, offered this message on Instagram.
Have some empathy. Why are you bragging? Have empathy to the Americans that you are our leader. Have some empathy to the people who are suffering and grieving.
And we spoke with Aaron Birch of Montrose, Michigan, who lost his mother to the virus.
The statement that he made last night where he said that, don't fear coronavirus and don't let your life be, dominated by coronavirus. My life has been redefined by coronavirus.
But even now, the president is suggesting COVID-19 is no worse than the flu. Twitter flagged that tweet for misinformation. And so far this year, more people have died of coronavirus than have died of the flu over the past 5 years combined.
You don't get a pandemic that kills 1 million people, and it isn't even over yet with influenza. So it is not correct to say it's the same as flu. It has some overlapping symptomatology early on, but flu doesn't do the things to you that COVID-19 can.
Late Tuesday afternoon, the president pulled the plug on negotiations with Democrats over another stimulus bill to try to help those who have been battered, businesses and individuals who have been battered by the coronavirus slowdown to the economy. The president said that he has directed his representatives to stop the negotiations until after the election, which he said he would win. The tweet sent the stock market into a bit of a nosedive, but the bottom line is that most who I've spoken to on Capitol Hill actually thought that those negotiations were actually going nowhere anyway. Jonathan Karl, ABC News, Washington.